This is my brand new Antec 1200 case prior to modding. Just took it out of the box, getting ready to tear it apart and see exactly what I need and what I can do to it. Okay, here we are after total dissection of the case. What I like to think that any good modder would do. See what you got to start out with. As you can see, everything is pretty much down to the bare metal, shy of the actual plastic that's on the front of the case. There's all the internal front, the big boy fan on the top, all the drive cages, all the front panels, all the 5 1/4 to 3.5 inch adapter, etc. And of course, over here there's the top panel with all the wiring. Cat, say hello there to my cat, Mr. Magoo. And the top, or I should say the front and back panels. So, we're going to get to looking and see. Got a box of goodies over here from Performance PCs, as well as a few goodies from X-Oxide. And we're going to do this thing up right TJ Harlow style. I want to give props to my mentor, TJ Harlow. He's the guy that gave me the love for this Antec 1200 case after seeing what all could be done. And one of my pure hates is the side window on these cases. And after I saw his window mod, absolutely sold me on this case. So, we're going to see where it goes from here. Going to look at replacing his rubber feet on the bottom. Gonna put some blue lighted feet on that I got from Performance PCs and give a little bit of blue glow underneath the case. Okay, I've got the bottom feet removed, and I don't know if this camera's good enough or not. You can see my scribe marks. I found the centers of where the original feet were, scribed them in a drill hole so I can put those guys up through with a blue light inside of them to give a little bit of like an aftermarket rice burner cars, I call them, with the glow underneath. Okay, here we are once again. I got everything disassembled, getting ready to get the side panel window ready here. I'm going to remove that extra chunk of metal there with the metal mesh that you see and get this thing done up right TJ Harlow style. Okay, I don't know if you can tell there, but did everything as instructed. We took and used 3M painter's tape. Taped everything off real well so that we didn't get any scratch marks as we jigsaw. Marked off everything as close to the original holes without, I don't know if you can see the depression I made in the blue tape there, but it's close to the originals without actually hitting them with the jigsaw as we're cutting, so we don't make the hole too large, so we don't too close to this backside that it doesn't fit. And after I marked, I also took into account the radius on the corners as instructed so that we didn't run into any problems there with putting the window edge molding in. And since I didn't have a T-square quite as big as what I saw in TJ's video, I used a small square and tape measure and a very, very large foot-long metal yardstick, and measured everything, double checked, triple checked, quadruple checked to make sure everything's nice and straight, numbers match, everything's good, even from the edges. Yeah. Okay, here we are with the Antec 1200, getting ready to make a hole in the top here so that you can see this gap that they put in here from the factory. Normally your plastic top is on top of here that I have removed right now, and all your cables from your front panel access that's on the very top here all goes down through this hole and then out just kind of all over the place inside the case. So I'm going to drill a 40mm hole right here, and then also I'm going to flip it up and do another one right up in this area, and that way I can run everything down through out here and then over here and through the different inserts and slots there that go into the back of the motherboard. Alright, so this is the before, and I'm going to show you the action, show you the afterwards. Okay, as you can see, I got the hole drilled, and I tried to make these two, I don't know if you can see from this camera angle, but tried to make the two kind of symmetrical, so that one went right down through, and it's perfectly lined up with this one to come out the side. And I have yet to, as you can see, haven't deburred it or fouled down the edges at all. I have a Greenlee deburring tool for my drill coming here soon that I bought, and it hasn't showed up yet. So once it does, I'll get those cleaned up fairly quickly and be ready to go. And I'm not sure, I may have to put one in the center somewhere in here for I have an actual matrix orbital LCD display that I'm gonna put, I think, in the middle, and I'm going to spread the fans out. I saw a guy on one of the overclocking sites who has the Antec 1200, and he put his CD-ROM drive at the bottom, then the fan, then he left a space, then the fan, and then he had his other space at the top here, which he had his fan switches and everything in the front. And I think I'm going to do a similar setup because I really like the way that made the fans look in the front. So I may be putting another hole here, and I'm going to have two laptop DVD ROMs in a single 5 1/4 inch tray adapter that I also bought just for something different. And I also I'm from the old school. I like to have two DVD ROMs, well, two optical drives I should say, for copying and so forth. So I didn't want to do away with that, and I needed all the space that I had, because if I would have took away one more 5 1/4 inch slot, I would have had to remove another 120mm fan, which I really didn't want to do. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bring the optical drive cables, power cables and SATA cables through this hole, or may do another hole here, or even possibly something down here in this area, just so that I don't have quite so much crap all inside here, all coming through here at this one hole, one shot. So we'll see how things go. Haven't decided, taking my time, slowly getting things moving here, but I got the holes drilled. Yeah. Alright, here's what happens. You can get a good look at that, and all the scratch marks that I made. It's what happens when you buy a cheap hole saw kit off of eBay. I thought, 39 bucks. I have the 44mm that TJ Harlow recommends, which actually does make a beautiful hole. And I'm going to do something a little different with the fans in the front. Usually they're stacked 1, 2, 3, and then you have 3 spots. I'm going to separate them by a stack of fans and an open slot, a stack of fans, an open slot, stack of fans, and an open slot. And then that way, I think it gives a cooler look. I saw a guy do a similar thing on, I think it was overclock.net, and I really like the look of that rather than having all 3 fans stacked up. So this way, I have a hole there for each set of my wires to come out for my fan switches, my fan controller, and my matrix orbital display that I use. So anyhow, this is what I'm going to try to touch up. Hopefully you can see that, how bad that was, and it kind of skipped when the damn drill bit broke. The hole saw kind of skipped around on me till I caught it, and luckily it didn't do too much damage. Hopefully I can touch it up with some flat black. I know it's on the back side, but I'm kind of anal, and I know it's there, and it'll bug me even though nobody will ever see it. So that's where we're at now. We're going to fix this up. I already experimenting with turning my hard drives around. I think I'm going to use a little bit different method than